Hello, my demonic marshmallows. Welcome back to Bedside True Crime Story Time with me, Samael. How are you? How have you been? Yes, I don't have eyebrows. Your mama ain't got no edges. The same way you don't point out her edges, don't point out my eyebrows. Dang yeah. Anyway, today's story is about an individual that I am ashamed to say piqued my interest for all the wrong reasons. Now, I'm not a hebristophile. I'm not a hebristophile. But there was a time on TikTok and on YouTube where there were certain shorts and reels and videos and clips of people saying this man unalive people for looking at him. And he would look over his shoulder and look at the camera. And the people reacting would act like they were scared. They spit out their water, they turn their head or something. And I'm ashamed to say, I was like, who's he? I now regret that. This man is a damn monster. Nikko Jenkins. Now, Nikko Jenkins isn't technically a serial unaliver. He is a spree unaliver. However, that does not make his crimes any less disturbing. If anything, it's even more disturbing because how did you take so many lives in such a short span? I don't even go to the gym 4 times in a month. You mean to tell me you unalive 4 people? I'm scared. Anyway, let's get into his life. Nikko Jenkins was born September 16th, 1986 in Denver, Colorado. I don't know nothing good came out of Colorado. So yeah. His parents was David McGee and Lori Jenkins. His mama gave the baby her last name. That's probably the only wise thing I think anybody gonna do in this video. At all. Lori Jenkins was 16 years old when she got pregnant by 31-year-old David McGee. He also was doing a bid in relation to unaliving somebody at the time of Nikko's birth. It's not starting off good at all. Jenkins' parents often fought, hand, fist, tooth, and knuckle, not to give him a better life, but to hurt each other. And they both ended up filing protective orders against each other. His father ended up moving on to date one of Lori's family members or something like that. But child, she said he was knocking her upside the head too. So I'm noticing a pattern. This is only the second video. Abusive men in both. We blame the mamas a lot. Daddies, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you. Apparently, Nikko always had behavioral issues and some mental disconnects as well. At age 7, he brought a hand pew-pew into the school, which triggered child services to remove him from his mother's custody. But I don't think that helped too much. At age 11, he was accused of theft, and he also started cutting classes like calories, and that led to him being placed in different group homes. He was forced to leave one of the group homes because he assaulted one of the kids with a clothes hanger in 1998. That baby was every last bit of 12 years old, beating people with a clothes hanger like he's somebody's auntie. If you don't go sit down, he spent the majority of his teen years in and out of detention centers. At age 16, he also threatened to unalive his daddy with a shot pew-pew. If you get what I'm saying. I'm trying to keep from saying the G word because I don't know what's going to get me floored. And I need my money. He also did 2 armed carjackings and was sentenced to 18 years in 2003. So, yeah. Now, prison is supposed to be a place where people go to get rehabilitated, get a new lease on life, grow, evolve. In America, prison is nothing of the such. People go, they get addicted to substances, they get grapes, lots of grapes going on. They get beaten, disrespected, solitarily confined, which worsens most mental issues. You can imagine the things that are going to go here. Usually, people help their own. That's not going to be a common theme here. Between 2004 and 2012, he had over 71 violations, ranging from assault, battery, gang affiliations, prison tattooing, and he also took a toilet brush and turned it into a shank. Now, hold on. I would be mad as hell if I was his cellmate. Because what you mean you made a toilet brush into a shank? Now what I'm supposed to get the dookie crust off the back of the bowl with? He would have had to fight me. His father died in 2009. I would say sadly, but you know we hate an abusive man. What I will say though, sadly, his grandmother passed that year. Now that was real somber. We all know when the matriarch of the family go, everything go to hell. My family included. The matriarch dipped out. Luckily, the prison system decided they was going to furlough him and his sister Erica because she was also doing a bid. Not your parents. You got it wrong not once, but twice. Golly. Anyway, him and his sister ended up getting furloughed so they could go to their grandmother's funeral. At the funeral, they attacked the officer and tried to escape. Thankfully, they were detained. Now, you would think, oh, okay, they tried to escape. That would warrant them to give them maybe 10 more years, 5 more years. You know, something justifiable. Jenkins claimed to be hearing the voice of the Egyptian god Apophis. He told a prison psychiatrist in 2011 that he had plans of unaliving a lot of people. Knew how he was going to do it, and also was talking to Apophis about doing it. Nevertheless, these dumb bastards released him in 2013 in July. And that's where all of the foolery happened. See how he told them, I got plans on hurting people? And they was like, yeah, you can go free. Colorado, if you from Colorado, you need to be squaring up with your local correctional institutions. You need to be squaring up with that prison system. And if I were the families of, I would sue the Department of Public Safety if I was in Colorado, if I was the families of the people who had to suffer because of this deranged lunatic, this rabid pit bull of a human being. I regret I ever found him attractive. August 11, 2013, at 5 a.m., a patrol car discovered the bodies of Juan Pena and Jorge Ruiz. They had been unalived via shot pew-pew and were found in a truck. They were found with their pockets inside out. And they were lured to the location thinking it was going to be a moment of passion with somebody. I'm not getting into explicit details. Do with that what you will. That's your mind. You the one thinking nasty. I didn't even say it. On August 19th at 7 a.m., the body of Curtis Bradford was found in a detached garage by a man returning home from his night shift. Now, imagine you just get off work. Imagine you don't work no long 12-hour shift. Imagine your boss, your supervisor been calling you, getting you to do this, that, and the third, anywhere and everywhere. And you thinking you gonna come home. You gonna come home to you a little plate. Your wife done left you something on the stove. Your puppy might be there to greet you at the door. Your son or daughter might be in the bed snoring and sleeping. You gonna feel like, oh, I'm finally home. You'll find an unalived body. Throw the whole day away. Throw the whole day away. I'm calling out until I feel better. Because it could have been me. So don't ask me to come to work. The victim suffered 2 pew-pew wounds to the head. Apparently, him and Nikko knew each other because they was in prison together. They was doing a bid together. And they took a Facebook photo less than 24 hours before he was unalived. Now, word on the curb is, the reasoning behind his unaliving was because Nikko's sister Erica, her house was looking like Swiss cheese because Curtis's friends came through and pew-pewed. So she was like, oh, I'm going to get my lick back. So that's why they unalived him, allegedly. If you ask me, I think the bastard's just crazy. I think that bastard is just crazy. Jenkins' fourth and final victim was Andrea Kruger. She was a mother of 3. She was found by a deputy that came to the premises investigating a shots fired report. She was found in the middle of the road, face down, suffering 4 pew-pew wounds. The other unalivings were important, right? Like, every life matters. But the fact that she had like 3 kids, 3 babies, and God forbid, like, if the kids were old enough to understand what happened, that is horrible. That's actually awful. Like, and my heart goes out to those children, and I pray that everything is working out for you and that you find someone who can watch over you and protect you and care for you. And hopefully they find the love that they need and they don't end up in the system and become the very thing that robbed them of the greatest gift a person can have, and that's their mother. I honestly believe that. And Mother's Day is coming up. I know that this is a little random. If your mother is alive, I don't care how mad you are at her. I don't care how upset you are at her. I don't care how furious you are at her. Just text her, call her, let her know, hey, I love you. I may not like you. You don't make sense all the time. But let her know that you love her. Because these kids' mama ain't here to hear that. So, oh, now I'm getting deep. Not this turning into Oprah Winfrey. Y'all not paying me for this. She was returning home from her bartending shift at the Deja Vu Lounge. And also her vehicle was found 19 miles away. It was a gold Chevy Traverse SUV. And also there was an attempt to set the inside of the car ablaze to destroy evidence. It didn't work out. Last time I checked, catching something on fire is the easiest thing to do. You can leave a cigarette on some grass and the whole woods will catch on fire. You can use a magnifying glass and put it on a blade of grass. Your whole lawn gonna be on fire. You mean to tell me you around here taking people's up off this earth. You around here taking people's souls like Shang Tsung in Mortal Kombat. But you mean to tell me you can't even burn? You can't even incinerate a vehicle? Throw the whole criminal away. You mean to tell me you gonna unalive me and you gonna steal my car? Hell. Not even jail. Not prison. Hell. Jenkins ended up being arrested on unrelated terroristic threat charges and just confessed to the 4 unalivings. Like, oh yeah, I did that. It was an 8-hour-long interview. He was talking about Apophis, how he was being spoken to by the deities and all kinds of stuff. Jenkins argued that his family history of mental illness, coupled with years of solitary confinement, worsened his mental state and made him have the propensity to commit the crimes that he committed. If you ask me, you was whooping people with hangers as a child, and as an adolescent was threatening to unalive your own daddy. Don't blame the solitary confinement. We can blame your family history. The solitary confinement might have been in your best interest. Because one of them inmates in there was going to give it to you in a way you didn't want to get it. You best be lucky you was able to be in there by yourself. In the court proceedings, this fool elected to represent himself. He said, oh, I'm going to represent myself. I'm going to do me. And proceeded to speak in tongues, howl, and hiss. And also laugh whenever they recounted his crimes. You acting like you around here being a vigilante. You acting like you out here helping somebody. You unaliving mothers of 3. You're going to hell. He also engaged in self-mutilation. He lacerated his face, lacerated his tongue, and split his hot dog down the middle. It should have got infected. Anyway, he was found guilty of all 4 unalivings, and that's the story of Nikko Jenkins. Something a touch disturbing to me about this proceeding in particular is that he warned. There's always a warning. There's always a sign. He told that psychiatrist in 2011 what he had plans of doing. He told him, I have plans of unaliving people should I be released. He was released 2 years later. He attacked and tried to escape from his guard when he was granted furlough to be at his grandmother's funeral. In what sane world do we as a people say, oh yeah, he deserves a second shot in society? There needs to be something to where if someone threatens like, no, I'm going to hurt somebody, I need to stay in here. I think that that should be permitted and allowed. Because if it's the Department of Public Safety, the public safety was not insured nor guaranteed with him free. Yet he was allowed to walk free anyway. If I was the families of those unalivings and the person who hurt my family member told the psychiatrist at the facility that they were housed in for violent crimes before they committed more violent crimes to my loved one, that individual stated that they had plans of hurting people should they be released and you release them anyway, I think they have a case. Someone needs to look into that. I would press charges against the state of Colorado. I would sue the draws off of them. I don't know what they got in Colorado. I don't know if it's desert. I don't know if it's plains. I don't know if it's vegetables. I don't know if it's East Coast, West Coast, your coast, my coast, Chanel West Coast. I don't know where Colorado is. I don't care really to know where Colorado is. I have zero interest in anything in Colorado. It sounds country, ghetto, ratchet, stupid, and city all at the same time. And if this is what Colorado is giving to the people, I don't want no parts of your state. Not me disrespecting the whole state because of one person. Anyway, we gonna hope that Nikko Jenkins burn in hell and all my kings, queens, and everything in between. Thank you for tuning in to yet another bedside true crime story time with me, Samael. And yes, I ain't got no eyebrows, but your mama ain't got no edges. See you in the next one.